So anyway, so I document the phenomenon here where many of you have had similar conversations. You know your views are actually quite uncontroversial. It's just Martin Luther King, identity for all or none. And yet you get called a supremacist, as though everything between neocon and Nazi instantly vaporized and you're either one or the other. This is the zone of unthinking that I get into here, okay? The zone of unthinking. What SJWs will do is say there's no such thing as white identity because it's the same thing as Nazi, right? So what they need to do is they need to unthing these concepts. They need to remove them from speech. They need to make sure that they are demonized and that you never think about these concepts because these concepts are too powerful and too hard to demonize on their own, and so they need to be in a world where anything to the right of conservatism is white supremacism. They need to prevent you from thinking about these ideas or saying them out loud. The tactic is to remove the thing, a set of ideas that may be quite sensible, from public consideration, because it's not even a thing. Do you understand? That way, anything to the right of conservative, acceptable, becomes unthinkable. This is now, if you haven't read this thread already and you don't know what I'm talking about, every time you see a mainstream media leads piece about that has the word not even a thing, anytime you see that phrase, not even a thing, or it's not a thing, think about what I'm telling you right now. It's done strategically in order to shift the Overton window. Because here is what the new Overton window looks like. When that becomes unthinged, there's nothing between conservative and white supremacist. So the moment you dip your toe into white identitarianism, you become a supremacist. Okay? So here's what the new graph looks like. Because of the unthinging of identitarianism, the entire Overton window shifts, and here's what it looks like. Do you guys see that? And so here is what the entire window looks like then. Because unthinking makes the entire Overton window shift, black identity or Jewish identity or POC identitarianism goes from radical on the other side to sensible. White identity from radical to unthinkable. Do you understand? Because of the unthinking, POC identity goes from radical to sensible, and white identity from radical to unthinkable. So here is what it looks like after the normalization of articles that demonize white identity. POC identitarian becomes sensible. Liberalism becomes the acceptable. Centrist becomes radical. And somewhere between conservative and white supremacist is unthinkable. But there's no identitarianism in between. This is how you use Overton window tactics to shift public affairs, public opinion.